What's going on, everybody? As I have to clear my throat, of course, as I go on. It's live TV, but what are you going to do? Hey, it's John with ACTION-FLIX.com coming at you. It's Friday night. I'm in Panama City. I am back. I have been missing in action. Yes, I know it's been a few weeks. A lot of May has been MIA. I have been doing a lot of things in relation to my life, my shoulder, job related stuff. I can attest that tomorrow I do start working again. So I'm super excited about that. Don't know how it's going to affect the schedule, but we'll see. Hopefully, obviously, it's not going to affect it that much, but what are you going to do? It's like, you got to work, right? It's like, if I'm not making money with this and, you got to make money somehow, right? But I am very happy with the job I got. I'm not going to have to lift furniture or stuff like that. That's going to kill my shoulder again. So I'm super happy about that. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about action. Yes, the weekly intel is back. And as you can see from the opening banner, that what does Chris Hemsworth, G.I. Joe, and the Transformers have in common? Well, we will get to that in a moment. If you're any kind of action fan, you already know the answer to that. But before I get started, yes, it is time to do a little dancing. Yes, get myself properly motivated. Yes, there we go. Yes. Oh, one more time. Come on. Yep, there we go. Yeah, you can't get enough of that. I mean, you can't. And then there's this. I got to do my stretches. I used to be able to do that, actually. I really, when I was hardcore in the martial arts, I was doing the splits both ways, baby. Let me tell you. But now, of course, we got one more. We got the handshake, the manliest handshake heard around the world. There you go, baby. That's right. Yes, it's Schwarzenegger and the late, great Carl Weathers. I still can't believe that he has passed. Still can't believe it to this day. I mean, I watch a movie and I'm just like, oh yeah, oh my God, he's not here anymore. And it just freaking sucks. But what are you going to do? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm like, he died way before his time. Let me tell you. I mean, I believe he was in his 70s. And like, when people die like in their 60s and 70s, like I'm 51 and I'm like, like what longevity do I have? But it's like, let's not get morbid. But as you can see, I'm rocking some Punisher. I got my Punisher hat and I got my Punisher shirt. Look at this bad boy. Look at this. If Punisher did anime, man. I love this shirt. I'm breaking it out for the first time. I have not worn this shirt. So this is the first time that I'm doing that, but we got lots to talk about. Yes, we do. We have so much to talk about. And as I properly get myself motivated here, to do the thing, let me bust open my website. That's right. There you go. Yeah. Oh, look what we start with. Yes. Got lots happening. Look at this. We got Chris Hemsworth. He's going to be a Joe, or he's in talks to. Then we got He-Man. Not really excited about that one. And of course, I'll talk about that as well. Yeah. We got Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. The trailer came out, what was it, last week or the week before? I think it was last week because I only did because I took some time off. Then we got the big news. 300 is going to be a prequel series. I mean, do we need it? I don't know, but hey. But then we got Alien Romulus. This is a movie that I was in no way near excited for when it was first announced. And now I'm all for it. I'm like getting so excited for this movie because now Fede Alvarez, who directed the movie, is teasing us that it's a blend. It's a merging of Alien, the great Alien from Ridley Scott, and of course James Cameron's Aliens, which is one of my top 5 all-time favorite films of all time. It's emerging. So you got the slasher type feel, the quintessential horror vibe of Alien, but then Alvarez is saying he's going to turn it into an action pick, and there you go, Kaylee Spaney, if I'm saying her name right, who was in Civil War, so great in Civil War. She's rocking the pulse rifle again in a new image, and we'll break that down a little bit. So yeah, so there you go. There you go. Oh, and my buddy Shane is here. He's here. Hey, how you doing? He was with his kids, so it's like, hey, spend time with your kids, man. It's like spend time with your children. But so let's get started. There's so much to talk about. I hate when I take time off. And because like I don't know where to start. It's like if I'm doing this weekly, then it's like okay, it's like I know where I'm at. Now it's like I have a freaking clue. There's been so much going on that Oh, thanks. Shane says I'll live till I'm 100. Thank you, Shane. Well, from your lips to God's ears. I mean, do I want to live till I'm 100? I don't even know if I want to live till I'm 100. But, what are you going to do? All right, we got Wolverine in the house. Chris Hemsworth and J. Joe is cool and all, but just give me Extraction 3. Dude, don't burst my bubble. Don't burst my bubble. Don't do it. I'm a G.I. Joe fan. One, I like the movies. Sue me. I like G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra, and I like G.I. Joe Retaliation even more. I like Snake Eyes for what it was. Was it a great Snake Eyes movie? Was it a G.I. Joe movie? No, but I still enjoyed it. I thought Henry Golding did a great job, and Andrew Koji was phenomenal in it. And I dug the action scenes. Everybody was bitching about them, but aside from the first one, I enjoyed the action sequences. Now, should they have put on their fucking masks? Yes. But besides that, I mean, I enjoyed it. So don't burst my bubble. I am more than excited. Yes, you know we're going to get Extraction 3, so who cares? It's like, can we take a break from Extraction and have this man suit up and be a Joe, be Duke or Hawk or something? I mean, come on. It's like, let's do this. Chris Hemsworth, you know what this means. And I'm getting ahead of myself because I wasn't going to talk about it until I was going to until I talked about the article. But we're going to get some big names in this movie. So you're going to get like with Hemsworth, the first to sign on, that they're going to be just like boop, 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 falling down like dominoes. So yeah, so I'm excited. Did you see the Arnie Netflix promo with the Giants? No, I did not. I have not been able to see that yet. I look forward to it now. Nope, I did not. The Netflix promo with a giant action figure. No, I remember the neighbor, the State Farm commercial where you say neighbor wrong, but I'm like, I enjoyed that one. But no, I have not seen the new Netflix commercial with the action figure. I look forward to it. I will Google it as soon as I get off the air. So let's bring back up the the website. All right. Excuse me as I have to clear my throat again. Where to begin? Holy cow. Here we go. Let's go into Intel. So let's start from the top, shall we? We might as well. So again, we got 300. Yeah. So as we all know, 300 is the great movie that Gerard Butler did with Zack Snyder back in 2006. It was probably, at the time, it was a breakthrough in cinema in the way that Snyder shot it. This was before Snyder was maligned. Since then, he's become, people have loved to hate Snyder. And like every time he's doing a project, they just come out of the woodworks to decimate the man. But this was before all that. So he did this movie and everybody thought he was the second coming and everybody loves Zack Snyder. And of course, it was a great movie. The visuals, it was bone wall to the wall CGI, but the action scenes were great. Butler was great. I mean, we are, it's like the quintessential, this is Sparta, it's like one of those monumental Hollywood moments. But evidently, Warner Brothers is developing a prequel series. Now, nothing's known. This is in the early stages of development. Like when I say early, I mean like, they probably were they got out of the meeting today. I'm like, hey, we're going to do this. So, the only thing we know about it is that it's going to be a prequel series, or they're saying it's going to be a prequel series. So evidently it's going to, King Leonidas, before the big battle with the Persians and, all that, where of course we all know they all die, the 300, none of them get out of it. It's a suicide mission at any rate, but they went down swinging, let me tell you. And the other big news is that they're yes, Warner Brothers, the same company that maligned Snyder with his Justice League. I'm surprised at this because they're wanting him to direct the series as well as executive produce it along with Deborah Snyder and their production banner. Yeah, so there's nothing really much to say about this now. I mean, you can't even really get excited for it because it's early in development. So yay, like what are you gonna do? It's like just talk about it. I mean, it's a prequel series. Yay, there's nothing else to say about it. Who's gonna star in it? We have no idea. Who's gonna, it's like, is it going to look like 300? Or are they going to go for a more practical vibe? Which I think they should, but that's just me. Because, let's not do because we had Spartacus, and that was all like amped up and everything, and then, like the visuals with that and everything. Can we just do practical stuff? I mean, can we just like, you know, just do it the way it used to be, before computers took over? No, Gerard Butler's not gonna, he's not gonna be involved. They're gonna get somebody new, and so yeah, so that's not even a factor. I mean, Butler's too. One, he's older, and then two, I mean, he still looks good. Don't get me wrong, but he's got his own thing going on. He's got all of his movies and stuff that he's making. With his production banner. So yeah, I doubt that he's going to be involved with it at all. But next we got Alien Romulus. Yeah, new image, which has Kaylee Spaney, who was so great in Civil War. I like that movie. If you read my review, I was a fan of it. Not a lot of people were. But I was. I mean, I dug it. I mean, was it a happy movie? Not by any stretch of imagination. More people wanted, like, it was from the reporters like viewpoint. So people wanted more of a, they were like, we didn't really get a lot about it, but it was supposed to be vague. They didn't want you to know like a lot about it. They just wanted you to see the horrors and what these people were going through, and the fact that we were just fighting each other, which sucked. I mean, you could pretty much put it together yourself in the mind. Like evidently, those people hated the president, and it went to the extremes. It didn't get to like the Donald Trump, let's take over, Washington D.C. But this in Civil War, it goes full blown. But enough about that. But we have a new image here, and of course, she's rocking the pulse rifle. I'm super excited for this. Let me tell you why. Like I said, when it was first announced, like they were saying how it's going to be a bunch of young people in space, and why does it always have to be young people in space? Why? 'Cause I get it. They're trying to like get the next generation excited and everything. But it's like, I just don't want a bunch of wimps running around getting killed by a xenomorph, like a Friday the 13th movie. Basically, let's just put a hockey mask on the xenomorph and just have him run around and just like slice and dice through people. It's like, but now that's all changed. Like, for one, I started hearing rumblings of what Fede Alvarez was going for, and now like with this new installment, I'm even more excited. So basically, what he says is he was like, how can you do Alien fans justice? How can you do justice between the first Alien, which is an iconic classic from Ridley Scott? It changed the course of movies, sci-fi movies for sure. And then you had James Cameron, who was like, you know what, I can't even compete with that. So let me just totally turn the Alien franchise on its head and turn it into a military action movie, with horror. But, he totally turned it into a full-blown action pick, which was the greatest way to go, because it's, again, this is one of the sequels that is considered to be better than the original. I mean, you could sit there and argue all day with somebody until you're blue in the face. I mean, I just basically look at them as like, I love them both. But Aliens is definitely my top 5, if not my favorite. Like when people ask me my favorite movie of all time, I break out Aliens. I just remember seeing it for the first time in 1986. And in 1986, I was like around 14. So yeah, so I was in my teens. I was getting into the R-rated thing, and everything. And I just remember watching it, and oh my God, I was just like, this is the greatest thing ever. Because I had seen Alien before, and here I got a funny story. My dad would bring home because this is when video stores were first created. Now let me paint you the picture. The very first video store that we had in our mall, okay. You walked in, and it was in one of those little stores in the mall. And the guy was behind the counter, and all the movies were behind the counter because there weren't a lot of movies on VHS at that time. There's probably like 40 movies at all on VHS. And you'd walk up and sit down in a seat at the counter like you're at a bar, and you'd be like, oh, I want that one. I want that one. So that's what we did. You didn't even walk around the video store. It was so small because there was hardly any movies on VHS. That's how old I am, that you had to ask this guy, like a bartender, for your favorite drink. Hey, I want Alien. Or I remember Superman the movie was another one of them. I was like, oh, I want Superman the movie. And my dad was like, sure. Because my dad had gotten one of the first video cassette recorders, because he worked for a company called Allen Bradley, which was into technology. So he was all into like the technology. So every time the laser discs came out, again, we got one. So yeah, so I saw Alien when I was little, but here's how my dad did it. he cut out the bad parts. Like he did this with Excalibur too. I'll remember. We all know Excalibur is great, but there's a lot of nudity and sex and violence and everything in that movie. So he like altered these movies. So anytime something bad happened, he cut out the bad parts. So like when the chest burster came out, that scene was totally nixed when he came out, and all like when somebody was killed graphically, it was all taken out. So my dad let me watch it. He just took out all the bad parts. And then finally, when I was old enough, I went back and watched these movies. I was like, this is what. When I watched Excalibur again, when I was old enough, I was like, oh my god, this is like a totally different movie. I cannot tell you how different this was. I was like, oh my god, this is everything I was missing. Are you serious right now? But yeah, so now we got this new image, and basically he's saying, you know what? I'm not even going to fight it. I'm going to blend both movies together. Yeah. So wrap your head around that. So you're going to have the horror, slasher vibe of the first Alien where, it's dark, it's foreboding. You don't really see the creature. He's hiding. I'm just going to call him he, whoever, or it's hiding. And it comes out just to kill people. But then he says it's going to turn into aliens. And as you can see, like she's rocking the pulse rifle. So I think, and I like my headline for the article was she's channeling Sigourney Weaver, which I totally think she is. And I totally dig it. Yeah. So he says it's going to totally turn into aliens. So he's blending the two together. So yeah. So I'm even more excited for this movie. The teaser that came out was great. Totally hooked me in. Now, of course, this movie doesn't come out until August, so you know what that means. You know that we're going to get another trailer. Is it going to be a longer trailer? Yes, they always do that. They do like a teaser, which they show you just bare bones, and then of course they do a longer one. Or it could be like the Fall Guy, where they do 4 trailers and you see the movie before you went to. Well, evidently everybody saw the movie because nobody went to see the movie at the theater. Ooh, there's a dig. So yeah, so I'm excited for it. And I can't wait to see how he blends the two together. What can I say? I'm just excited for it. And I think she's going to do great in it. We all know she's the final girl. She's going to be the one that, people are going to die, but she's going to be the one there at the end that's battling the xenomorph or xenomorphs. We don't know like if there's going to be like more than one. I mean, right now we're assuming it's like the first one where there's one, but at the same time, you never know. Hey, I hope there's more, because if it turns into aliens, man, that'll be great. Like you can't beat Michael Biehn coming up through the riser or like the ceiling, and then he's got the flashlight, and you just see all the aliens come at him, and he just totally freaks out and starts firing his pulse rifle as he's falling to the ground. I want scenes like that. I want Kaylee like just like falling to the ground as she's shooting. I mean, let's get this chick going, man. Let's turn her into Sigourney Weaver and Linda Hamilton. Let's just totally get that badass 80s vibe going, and like just have her like totally like crushing xenomorphs. I would totally be into that, because like she probably weighs like a $115, if that, so it's like it'll be great to see her like totally going apeshit on xenomorphs. All right, here we go. Now here's the next thing I got for you guys, and I'm gonna prequel the article by doing this. Y'all remember when Netflix was going to reboot the Masters of the Universe? I say reboot because we all know Canon Films did it with Dolph Lundgren. And again, it's maligned, and I don't know why. It's a fun movie. It's great. It's fun to watch, and it's just a fun movie to watch. And I thought Lundgren was great in it. It was one of his first starring roles after Rocky IV. And but anyway, and they were gonna do it, and Noah Centineo, who was like a big part of the the Netflix rom-coms, like what movie? No, my daughters watched it, and my ex-wife watched it. Shoot, I don't even know what it was called. I don't care. Don't tell me what it is. It's not an action movie, anyways. But anyway, he was in those movies, and they were gonna do it with him, and I was like, well, the guy's in shape, and everything. But, that fell through the wayside. And now Amazon MGM, Amazon's hooked up with MGM. They merged into a movie studio. And of course, Amazon does a thing on their streaming service. They're going to do the movie now. And they announced their actor this week. And what's his name? Nicholas oh god, what is this? Galitzine. Galitzine. Nicholas Galitzine. Evidently, this guy, there's a picture of him. I put this picture in there. I mean, yeah, the kid's in shape. I'll give you that. But he weighs what, $150? Maybe? Oh, God. And here's He-Man. Okay. So it's like, let me just do this a couple times, give you the visual. I'm okay. All right. And again, this guy has starred in a bunch of Amazon Prime direct to streaming movies. And they're like chick flicks. I don't want to say chick flicks, that's derogatory, but they're ones that women gravitate towards. He's in the movie The Idea of You, as well as he was in the Purple Hearts for Netflix, and as well as Red, White, Royal Blue. I have not seen any one of those movies, not one of them. But he's your new He-Man, everybody. Yep. All right. Wolverine says Montreaters tend to suck. Yes, they do. They tend to show way too much. Give me the Don LaFontaine in a world style trade. Yes, very much. And then he goes on to say, Meg Foster, peak casting for Evelyn. Those eyes, man. Yes, of course. I said that. I think I went on Owen's show when I was talking about her, in the role and how, well, at least we were talking about it, how she was perfect for it. But yeah, that's what we're getting, everybody. Nicholas. I mean, again, I don't want to rag on the kid. He's probably a nice kid. And he's acting. God love him. He's making more money than I am. That's for sure. So I can't really dig that much into him because he's doing a hell of a lot more than I am. But come on, man. I mean, he does. Okay. All right. Let me just say this. Okay. It doesn't have to look like Dolph Lundgren. You don't have to get like Alan Ritchson, from Reacher. But come on, it's like, can we at least get somebody that is like a little closer to what listen, like when he's Prince Adam, yeah, but like what are they gonna do when he turns into He-Man? Are they gonna CGI it? Oh God, that would be a horror show. Yeah, Shane, my buddy Shane says not looking forward to this movie. Listen, what do we always say though, Shane? We always say I reserve judgment until I see first look footage, and again, that's what I'm doing. I'm reserving judgment. And let me just say right now, I'm not looking forward to it either. But you know what? I've been proven wrong in the past. Vori says, I miss the old days when actors were told to use stage names the audience would be able to pronounce. Yeah, I know. That's the thing. I was just talking about that to somebody the other day. It's like every time I'm doing a podcast and I'm naming names, I'm like, I can't pronounce this person's name. Sylvester Stallone, Dolph Lundgren, even Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now we got Nicholas Gladzine. Good for him. I'm so happy for him that he got He-Man because he's gonna make bank. he's gonna get paid. Now is this movie gonna go fall by the wayside like Netflix did? That could be a factor too. I mean, that could happen. It could. I mean, Netflix has fell by the wayside, so why wouldn't this one? So yeah, so there's not much to say about that. I'm like, I was writing it, and if you read my article, it was one of those articles where you knew I was pissed when I was writing it. The only other time you could really tell I was pissed when I first wrote the announcement to the Roadhouse movie, which I was kind of right, because when I finally did see the Roadhouse movie with Jake Gyllenhaal, I was not a fan of it. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't what I wanted. That's for sure. Was the end fight good? Yeah, I enjoyed it, but other than that, there was no fighting in it. How do you have a Roadhouse movie with no fighting? And again, I'm going on off tangent. I'm sorry. Shane says true. Thank you. Shane, do you just want me to give you a link and jump on? It's like, what do you do? You're just on your phone. You're supposed to be spend time with your children. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. Let's move on. All right, here we go. Yeah, this is exciting. Dolph Lundgren and Michael Jai White are doing a movie, everybody. Woo! Two of my favorites. Yeah, Fight or Flights. And it's going to be directed by Shane Dax Taylor. And Shane Dax Taylor is a very nice man. You know why? Because I interviewed him. Yep, there it is right there. When he did The Best Man with Dolph Lundgren and Luke Wilson, I interviewed him. And you can hear it right here because I edited onto the article that I did. What is the guy's real name? Is Chad Farthouse. I'm sure it is. Okay. Anyway, moving on. All right. So yeah, Shane Dax Taylor is directing a movie called Fight or Flight. And it stars Dolph Lundgren and Michael Jai White. From the looks of it, it sounds like Dolph Lundgren is an anti-hero and Michael Jai White is the full-blown bad guy, which is fine by me. The official synopsis for Fight or Flight is Sam Hayden as an assassin of assassins, completing every assignment, no matter how dangerous, with ruthless precision. Sam's next assignment is to take out his legendary ruthless predecessor, Charles Mangold, played by Lundgren, who has fallen for his beautiful exotic mark and is now on the run with her. Sam is cold, professional, and there is nothing that could sway him from him missing, not even the love of his life. Nona Messenger, that is well, that was a typo. Sorry. The message that is until Sam comes face to face, fist to fist with his legendary target and shocks himself by not taking out Mangold. Now, pursued by the world's #1 hitman, Isaac, played by White, along with his own people, Sam must team up with Mangold to take them on and to stay alive. The film also stars Charlotte Kirk and Lena Maya. Now, who's playing Sam Hayden? That's what I want to know. So Sam Hayden sounds like he's the true star of this movie, because Lundgren is Mangold, who he teams up with, and White is Isaac, who plays the bad guy. So yeah, I don't know. Doesn't say, but whatever. What are you gonna do? Anyhow, so yeah, there's that. I mean, get excited. It's an indie film. I mean, it's not, it's done by the same guy. So if you like The Best Man, which I did, I gave it a good review. I enjoyed it for what it was. I was I was super excited. When I saw it. Well, for one, Lundgren's hung over through the movie, which is kind of funny. I mean, because like they're at a wedding, and of course the mercenaries break in. So yeah, so I mean, I enjoyed that aspect of it, but you know what you're gonna get. It's directed by Shane Dax Taylor, great guy. He's making his way through independent action cinema as well as other genres. So you're not gonna get like a big Hollywood blockbuster, which that might be a good thing. So yeah, so that's what you're getting with this one. Fight or Flight, it's called. So again, not going to be out for a while, so we won't see any footage of that for a while. Wolverine says, have you seen the last Kumite yet? It's on video on demand and will be on physical next month. No, I have not. I was not sent a screener for it. I just, like I said, I'm starting my new job tomorrow, and I've had limited funds. So if you're not going to send me a screener to review your movie, then again, I support the movies. Like, I'll probably get the last Kumite when it actually hits physical media, but no, I have not got it on video on demand. I'm not paid the money to watch it. I will eventually. I'll probably review it when it comes out this month. I believe it's the middle of the month that it comes out on physical media, so I'll probably get it that way and watch it. I've heard good things about it. A couple people have seen it on video on demand and said, it's exactly what you think it is. It's, it's nostalgic. It's like watching a 90s, tournament film, complete with Stan Bush songs. So it's like, yay. It's like, so, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, I want to see it, but like, I just haven't had the time nor the money to pay for it. So I apologize for that. That's all I got to say about that. So, okay. So here we go. Next thing we got coming up, Lionsgate has announced release dates for some pretty good movies, including Mel Gibson's Flight Risk, Dave Bautista's The Killer's Game, and Gerard Butler's long-awaited sequel, Den of Thieves Pantera. Yes. So Flight Risk is coming out October 18th. So this is directed by Mel Gibson, and this one is starring Mark Wahlberg. Now, Mark Wahlberg usually plays the good guy, but now he is going to be playing the bad guy in this movie. Yes. So basically the premise for this one is, we talked about this in the past, but Michelle Dockery is a U.S. Marshal flying at witness. Topher Grace, I like Topher Grace, so there might be some comedy in it too, to testify against the mob, but the pilot of the plane is a psychopathic hitman played by Wahlberg, playing way against type. He even shaved his head. This is from JoeBlow.com, by the way, that because they saw this the trailer. Yeah, so basically it takes place on a plane. Mark Wahlberg's crazy. He's trying to kill Topher Grace, and then we got Michelle Dockery, who's the femme fatale, U.S. Marshal, who's going to save the day. So yeah, sounds pretty decent. Now, The Killer's Game, I'm really excited about. This comes out September 13th. Yes, September 13th. He says it's okay. Training montage galore. Yeah, I mean, the trailer was training montage. Listen, I'll probably like it. I'll just say it right now. I'll probably like it because I like those movies. I like the 90s. I like the tournament movies from the 90s. I like the bad acting. Matthias Hughes was in it. I talked to him. He's a great guy. I loved him. I've loved him since the 90s. So, yeah, I'm a Mathis Landwehr fan too. Big German martial artist and action star. So, I mean, I'm digging that he's in it too. Anyway, let's go back. So yeah, so Killer's Game, directed by the great J.J. Loco Perry, who is a martial artist and a big time stunt coordinator, professional who's now directing movies. This one, I mean, listen, you got Dave Bautista. This one, you got Sophia Patella, who is rocking in Rebel Moon right now. You got Ben Kingsley, Sir Ben Kingsley. You got this man right here. You got Ice Cube. But you got Scott Adkins, you got Daniel Bernhardt, you got Marco Zaror, all these guys trying to kill Dave Bautista, and a veteran assassin played by Bautista who is diagnosed with a life-threatening illness and authorizes a hit on himself to avoid the pain that is destined to follow. But soon after, he finds that he was misdiagnosed and must now fend off an army of former colleagues trying to kill him. So one, you got this sensational cast. Two, you got J.J. Perry directing it, who's big time known for, doing fight scenes and everything. So yeah, super excited for this one. I can't wait to see a trailer for this one. Again, we got some time for that one. It's not until September 13th that this one comes out. Now, this is the big one. Yes, Den of Thieves Pantera. Big Mike is back. Yeah. Gerard Butler's Big Mike, who was in Den of Thieves, the anti-hero. He's a cop, but he's got a lot of bad things going on in his life. But he puts it all together when he has to stop a crew that are robbing banks. So yeah, this one's finally going to come out next year, January 10th, 2025. So we got a long way to go for that one, unfortunately. So yeah, so I'm excited for it. The first one was a little too long. Then they came out with the director's cut that was even longer. And it was just like, holy cow, there's a lot of filler in this movie. But it was still engrossing. It was kind of like Heat. It was like a more it was like a less meteor Heat, if you want to go that route. But yeah, so in the sequel, I'm sorry, Big Nick. I called him Big Mike. My bad, Big Nick. Yes, I'm sorry. It's live. What am I going to do? Big Nick is back on the hunt on the mean streets of Europe. So he's in Europe this time, closing in on Donnie, who is embroiled in the dangerous world of diamond thieves and the infamous Panther Mafia as they plot a massive heist of the world's biggest diamond exchange. All right. Yeah. So we all know that Big Nick, like I said, he's a flawed character. He's a cop, but he's cheating on his wife, and he breaks the rules when he has to. He's not above or bending the rules, if you will, but it has a great shootout at the end. Was phenomenal. I loved it. Thought it was freaking phenomenal. And even with the long running time, because there was a good shootout at the beginning, and then of course you had the ending, so it was like bookends, with Gerard Butler chewing up the scenery in the middle. All right, Wolverine's still talking about The Last Kumite. He says Viking Samurai was a bad in the movie. I've never watched Viking Samurai. My apologies. I'm sure he's never watched me either. But evidently, he's a big time martial artist and everything. And this is like his first movie, I guess. Kurt McKinney is the secondary lead, which actually surprised me. I expect him to have a more similar to Billy Blanks. Well, Billy Blanks is the one that trains Mathis in this one. So yeah. So yeah. I mean, it like I said, going back to The Last Kumite. I mean, it sounds good. Like I said, it's like I've been in a nostalgic state, got with me reinventing myself at 51. God, me now I'm on my own. I'm getting a new job, my shoulder and everything. It's just, I've been rooting for the days of, when you went to the video stores and you rented these movies. Yeah, Shane agrees with me. He says mild heat. I wouldn't go that far. That's kind of harsh. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was a good movie. I mean, it's not Heat, but I mean, it was up there for me. So yeah, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, so you got release dates galore for that. So unfortunately we have to wait till January to see Gerard Butler kick some ass as Big Nick. Sorry, Big Nick, not Big Mike. My bad. So here's another cool thing that happened while I was away. Daniel Bernhardt. Speaking of Daniel Bernhardt, where we mentioned who is in. Oh wait, we got another comment. Hang on a second. Wolverine says Asa Norris is going to be working on the Just Cause video game adaptation. If you haven't heard, no, I haven't. I haven't played the video game. I could care to. I don't know. Good for it. I mean, David Leitch is struggling. I mean, he's such a good guy, and like he's one of these directors that comes from a stunt background. But like the Fall Guy, like listen, I love the Fall Guy. I did. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. I thought the chemistry was great. I liked Ryan Gosling. I liked Emily Blunt. I liked the movie. The plot sucked, yes, but who cares? I mean, but other than that, but he's definitely not reaching the success that his friend Chad Stahelski has been. I mean, Chad's only really done the John Wick movies in terms of directing. So I mean, it'll be good to see him do something different. And will he have the same success with Henry Cavill as Highlander? We will find out, everybody. But yes, here's what we're talking about here. Deathstalker, baby. There's Daniel Bernhardt, the first official image as the picture was bought to Cannes or Cons, however you pronounce it, film market for distribution. This is listen, I'm so excited for this because one, Daniel Bernhardt is one of my favorites. I've interviewed him twice. Great guy. I want to interview him again. I forgot to, I wanted to email him because I know that he's doing this. And of course, he was in Chief of Station, which unfortunately I have not reviewed. It's Jesse V. Johnson. I know, I feel bad. I haven't reviewed the film. But again, I had a lot going on last month or this month. It's still May for like a few more hours. But yeah, I should have reviewed it. But it is what it is. But yeah, but he's back. He's going to be a good guy because Daniel Bernhardt's been playing a lot of bad guys. You know, in John Wick, he was the bad guy. He was in Atomic Blonde. He played a guy, you know, that was after Charlize Theron. You know, he's been in all kinds of these movies. You know, Hell Hath No Fury, which was Jesse V. Johnson did. That was the first movie I interviewed for. He was in Extraction 2 a little bit. Should have had longer fight scenes with Chris Hemsworth. That's for sure. But yeah. He's playing Deathstalker. So how can you not get excited? So yeah, so this is one of those movies. They're already filming it. And so I'm excited for it. And that this dropped. And of course, the titular barbarian who becomes cursed by a magical talisman that draws him into a conflict with a malevolent wizard and a clan of monstrous assassins. It's like, yeah, I mean, if you know the Deathstalker movies from the 80s and early 90s, you know, Rick Hill and then John Terlasky did it, you know, I was a fan of those movies. Are they tongue in cheek? Are they cheesy? Especially the second one. The second one was really cheesy, like big time cheesy. But Stephen Kostansky, who did Psycho Gorman, which I have not seen, but I've heard good things about, he's directing this take on Deathstalker, and it's just going to be great to see him kicking ass again. I mean, super excited about it. Yeah, they did. Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I still liked it. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm going to get it on Blu-ray when it comes out because I liked it. I liked it a lot, but unfortunately it didn't make bank. Yeah. No offense, but like movie theaters have changed. Like a lot of people are and like with movies coming out so fast on streaming, like, look, every time I turn around, I went to see a movie, and then already it's on streaming. It's like, why do you have to go to the movies anymore unless you really like that experience, which I do. But, you know, it's like a lot of people are just like, you know, screw it. I'll just wait a couple of weeks and it's going to be on streaming. I'll just watch it in my own home. I'll pay the same amount that it would cost to take my family to go see the movie, and I'll own it and I'll watch it as many times as I want. So it's like, you know, what are you going to do? You know. Wolverine says, this is how you do a first look image of a character sitting on a chair with purpose. Yes, he looks like he's about ready to just break into action and do some bad shit to bad people. Then I'm enjoying every part of it. I've never been able to see Deathstalker 3. I've only been able to see 1, 2, and 4. Deathstalker 2 is my favorite. The second one was a lot more funny. Like I wasn't expecting when I saw it, I was not expecting it to be so funny. Like John Terlasky was hysterical in it, from what I remember. I haven't seen it in years, but I mean, I probably like it's probably 1, 2. I don't remember 3 and 4 that much. I've only seen those once, if at all. I'm definitely gonna have to go back and break out those movies just to watch them, just get a feel for them again. There's a comic now because I go to my local comic shop. There's a Deathstalker comic that's kind of bridging between the old movies and this one. So that's pretty cool. I have not purchased any of the comics or read any of the comics, but yeah, so I mean, I'm excited to see him break out and do some Daniel Bernhardt things, because he's going to get physical. There's going to be sword fighting, but he's still going to do the martial arts. He's still going to deliver those awesome kicks that we all love him to do. So yeah, so I'm super excited for that. So I mean, again, it's being filmed, so we have a wait. All these movies like I'm talking about, it's like they're not even going to be out until God knows how long. Now here's another good one that I'm excited about. And this stars a couple people that I'm friends with, either with, through social media or I've interviewed. But we have Monkey Man action design master Brahim Chab enlists for Pedro Lopez's next level horror actioner Blood Passage. This one sounds pretty cool. Now, Pedro Lopez, he directed a movie called Maria, which was really good, about a female assassin who tries to escape the life. It's one of those type of movies, but phenomenal action. He's done a lot since then. Brahim Chab was in Monkey Man. He did the fight choreography, but he was also the mask guy that Dev Patel fights in the movie. He's been in countless movies, fighting and doing stunt choreography and everything. So, he's going to be part of this movie, and it just sounds really kick ass. The official press release they gave to me, and I shared it with everybody. It's called Blood Passage, and it's a martial arts vampire action horror pick. Now, if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. It's like, holy cow. Yeah, so Pedro Lopez is directing it. Brahim Chab is going to be doing the fight choreography for it and everything. And it's basically about a black ops unit that goes on a mission and very bad things happen. And of course, vampires are involved and all kinds of good stuff. And they're promising next level action. Anytime somebody says that, I'm like, I'm intrigued. Show me. Give it to me. I want to see it. So, and these guys deliver. So I'm super excited for this one, for when it comes out and everything. So that's Blood Passage from the great Pedro Lopez and Brahim Chab, who fought, let's go on. He's fought Jackie Chan in Vanguard. He tussled with Scott Adkins and Boyka Undisputed 4, so many more movies. And of course, he did the fight action for Monkey Man, which was phenomenal, big time phenomenal. I mean, so good. Wolverine says, Marie, yes, the Philippine, yes, that's the one. Yes, you liked it. Yeah, it's a good movie. It had a lot of good action in it. So yeah. The Deathstalker trade comic will come up at the end of the year, which is cool. Well, there's a Deathstalker comic out now. I saw it in my comic book shop, but it's new. So I don't know what that one is. Like I said, I didn't do my research, so I'm sorry. I mean, I just saw it when it was there. So yeah, so there's a Deathstalker comic because it was right next to Conan. So cool. When I was looking at it, because I was like, ooh, but I didn't get it because I had a bunch. Again, my funds are limited, and I already had G.I. Joe and Avengers Twilight in it. So that was pretty cool at the same time. So yeah. So yeah, so that's the thing. With these movies that are coming. Okay, here's another one like that you want to get excited for, and it's got a really cool picture that was shared for Diablo. Scott Adkins and Marco Zaror. Yes, we have a first look image, which has Scott going airborne, kicking some poor guy into what's going to be a window. So yeah, so this was released a few weeks ago. And Diablo, Deadline brought it out. So this is pretty cool. I love this picture. This is like the best. Now, this is how you release a first look footage or first look photo of an action movie, especially one starring Scott Adkins. That's what you do right there, people. Here, I'll point this way. That's what you do. It's like, because that is a great shot of him doing what's probably a flying, spinning back kick into this guy. So Diablo reunites Atkins with his Undisputed 3 Redemption and Savage Dog co-star Marco Zaror, and it's directed by Ernesto Diaz Espinoza, which he's friends with Marco, and they've done numerous films together, which including the most recent The Fist of the Condor, which I interviewed Marco for. They've done Kill Trill, Mirage Man, Mandrill, Redeemer, which Redeemer is excellent. I love that movie. That is a really good movie. So yeah, so he directed it. So you're in good hands with this movie. Foot tooth. Isn't that a great shot? I mean, whoever took that had to have like the rapid fire camera. It's like, and then they're like, "Yep, we got it." It's like that is how you do. That's how you get people excited for a Scott Adkins movie. Because how many times, like I remember when they released the photo for his other movie he's got coming out. It was just him holding a rifle, and it was like, okay, cool, it's Scott Adkins holding a rifle. But now you got him flying, doing his thing, kicking some guy in the face. So yeah, so that's how you do it. All right, now the plot for Diablo. The film follows Chris Chaney, played by Adkins, who after being released from prison embarks on a perilous mission to fulfill an old promise, but finds himself in danger when he kidnaps Elisa, the daughter of a powerful gangster. Her father, Vincent, puts out a call to the entire criminal underworld to bring her back alive. El Corvo, I love that name, El Corvo, played by Zoror, a psychopathic killer, joins the hunt not for the money, but for his own vendetta against Vincent's family. Chris must evade both Elisa's powerful father and a ruthless killer bent on revenge to live long enough to tell Elisa the full story that has been hidden from her. And Scott's promising great things from this movie. Like big time good things. Like he's saying, if you liked Undisputed 3 and you like Savage Dog, if you like me and Marco, connecting in those movies, you're gonna flip your shit when you watch this movie. So I'm like, yes, please show me more. I want to see trailer right now. I want to see footage right now. Come on. I'm promoting you guys. Send me some exclusives. Come on. I want to see it. Give it to me. I mean, then all the big trades are going to get it. No offense to them, but they don't do action like we do action. We're the ones that do action. So it's like, give us, the first look photos. And I get it. I don't get as many readers as Variety or Deadline does, but whatever. I digress. so yeah, that's another cool thing that's came out when I was on hiatus. Anytime Scott Adkins is in the news, it's a good time because he is going to rock it. All right, now let's talk about the real thing. This just came out yesterday. Big time, super excited. Yes, Chris Hemsworth is in. Now it says he's in talks. Now I always love when you get these articles that are already saying he is. No, he's in talks. Now basically that means he's going to be in it. When they come out with these articles and say that the actor or actress is in talks, that means they're this close to signing on the dotted line, but they have not yet. So with that in mind, Chris Hemsworth will most likely headline the big G.I. Joe Transformers crossover that was announced at CinemaCon by Paramount and was teased in Rise of the Beast, Transformers Rise of the Beast at the very, very end. Yes, super excited. Yes, we will get Extraction 3, but let's take a break, and let Hemsworth, play Duke, or, let's have him standing next to Snake Eyes, because I'm all on board for that, baby. I am super on board for that. I'm so excited for this. Listen, like I said, I'll fight you tooth and nail. I like the movies. I'm a G.I. Joe fan. Did Snake Eyes suck? Yeah, probably, but I still like it. I'm sorry. I like bad movies. And, it wasn't a great Snake Eyes movie or G.I. Joe movie, but I still enjoyed it. And I still enjoyed the fighting. And I enjoyed them. So, you know what? Send me hate mail. I don't care. I just delete it anyways. So anyways, I'm excited for this one. So we don't know who he's going to play. So again, rumor mill abound. There's the photo that I made for it. This is actually off a video game, the G.I. Joe one, and that's Optimus Prime from Rise of the Beast. Now we all know that Chris Hemsworth is doing the voice of a young Optimus Prime in Transformers 1. So there's already that too. So he's doing Optimus Prime in Transformers 1. And now he's going to be a G.I. Joe in the Untitled. I wonder what they're going to call it. Because, they have to have G.I. Joe and Transformers in the title. So is it going to be G.I. Joe Transformers da-da-da-da-da? Or, I mean, it's like, how they going to do it? I can't wait to see like what they do for the title alone, because it's like, it's going to be a long one. You know that for sure. We don't know a lot about the plot, but we do know that the plot is set to originate from one of the stories from the Marvel 1980s era, where we all know that G.I. Joe teamed up. The G.I. Joes teamed up with the Autobots to fight the Decepticons and Cobra. So it's going to have one of those. Now, we all know that G.I. Joe's big right now, and so is Transformers, because Skybound Entertainment, IDW, is doing the lines. They resurrected the G.I. Joe line, the Transformer line. They're doing the Energon series, where Duke just finished up. Now, Cobra Commander just finished up, and now they're going to have Destro and Scarlet coming out. So if you're a G.I. Joe fan right now, or a Transformers fan, it's a good time to be super excited for it, because now we're going to get the live action film. And of course, you got everybody that's already popped up on my social media and says this movie's going to suck. It's going to be like the other two movies and Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, because I have a crystal ball and I can see the future. I just delete. I mean, because you know what? I don't need negativity. I mean, it might suck. But I don't think I'm going to go into a G.I. Joe Transformers crossover movie and come out and be like, boy, that sucked. It's like, because the only way I think you could screw up a movie like that is if you turn it into a musical, which they might. Who knows? You never know. They just might do that. So I don't think they will. I'm joking. But just in case you thought I was serious. But yeah, so what are you going to do? So yeah, so let me see. Let me go down the line here and see if there's anything else I forgot to mention. So lots of things happening. I mean, lots of good things happening. Oh yes, okay. I'm all right. Yeah. Sorry. No disrespect taken whatsoever. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done a weekly intel, so I did not mean to leave this man out. Yeah. You know who he is. I don't need to say his name. I'm going to anyways. Donnie Yen. Kane from John Wick Chapter 4. He's going to be in his own spin-off movie, which we kind of already knew, because like the stinger scene at the end of John Wick Chapter 4 concerned Kane, because, we all know, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it by now, John Wick died, or, supposedly, he looked dead to all of us. So yeah, so we got Ballerina coming out, which again had to go into reshoots to make better action scenes, with Chad coming in to fix it. But like now with Donnie Yen doing a Kane spinoff, super excited for this one, because like Donnie Yen, he's like a ninja. You just put him in the movie, and even if the movie totally sucks around him, he will still make it better by just being in it, and just his charisma and his martial arts prowess. He will just rock it out of the park. And I couldn't be more excited about this one, because we're still getting John Wick movies. And who knows, Keanu Reeves could always come back. We never know. You never know. it's like never say never anymore, right? But yeah, so you got the Kane spinoff. Not too much to talk about that, but except that he's going to be in a spinoff movie. Yay. So yeah, that's what I got for today on the weekly intel. Couple other things that I want to go over. There's been some trailers that we've had. Let me go down the line here. Oh, here we go. We got Netflix's big trigger warning with Jessica Alba. Yeah, so I'm probably going to do a separate stream for trailers. But we had Jessica Alba in trigger warning, which I'm excited for. It looks really good, and she did some Indonesian knife fighting for it. So anytime, and again, I'm all for women kicking ass on screen. It's been done since, like people. I love the guys that complain about, like, oh, this is just a new thing. I'm like, no, it's not. Sigourney Weaver, Linda Hamilton, Cynthia Rothrock. It's like, you don't know action, so shut the up. So it's like, women are allowed to do action. It's like, hello. But yeah, I'm super excited for this one. The poster came out too, which is kind of, I mean, it's got Jessica Alba holding a knife, but I hope they come out with a better one, because that's just kind of lame. I mean, it's just her bent over holding a knife. I mean, yeah, we see her cleavage. I mean, if you're 17, I guess you get excited. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. So yeah, we got that one popping up. And then, of course, let's see what else we got here in terms of trailers. So we got trigger warning with Jessica Alba, Axel Foley, or Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. We got Life After Fighting with Brent Foster delivered the official trailer. We all know that a trailer came out a little while ago, but it was since taken down because it wasn't the official one. But Vertical Entertainment has since put out a new one for his life after fighting, which I had an exclusive interview with Bren where we talked. I was probably one of the first ones, if not the first person to talk about life after fighting with him. And he shared the posters with me, which was an exclusive. So I had the posters first before anybody else did. So that was pretty cool of him to do when we were doing our interview. But yeah, so there's a trailer for that. And then of course there's a trailer for this movie, which it's hard to get excited for a independent action movie, like super excited. But when you got Mark Singer and Chuck Norris, for God's sakes, in the same movie called Agent Recon. Yeah, I mean, he's 84 people and he's still kicking ass. Now, why did he choose now to come out of retirement? I mean, he did the Hawaii Five-0 episode where he was on it for like 2 minutes. But, why didn't he ever do another Walker, Texas Ranger, where Alex was laying dead in the courthouse? He never did follow up to that one. I never understood that. It's like, they ended the series great, but then they came back with this reunion movie. And it's like, it's like, but neither here nor there. He's back, everybody, and he's in a new movie called Agent Recon, which comes to us from the guy on his or our right, his left, Derek Ting. He's done other movies, Agent Revelations. He did. So this is a branch off of that. I have not seen any of these movies, so my bad. So I'm gonna have to check these out. Wolverine's in agreement with me. He has not seen them either. But I will check them out. Yeah, so he's a martial artist filmmaker. He not only stars in it, but he directed it as well as like the other ones. But he got Mark Singer, who I'm a huge fan of. I would love to interview Mark Singer too. Chuck Norris isn't going to do interviews for it, but if I get to interview Mark Singer for it, man, that would be a milestone for me because Beastmaster his Mike Donovan was like the Han Solo of the 80s. I mean, when after Return of the Jedi, because we all know Han Solo went on vacation for many, many years. Like he took over. Mike Donovan was a great character. I love V. I love Mark Singer. Oh, such a great actor. He's the Beastmaster, for God's sakes. So he's in this movie too. So you got these guys, listen, age is just a number. Chuck Norris is 84. I believe Mark Singer's in his 70s. I mean, who cares? I mean, if you're still in shape, you can run around and shoot a gun. And like Chuck Norris looks like he's still doing karate in it. So I'm all for it. So yeah, so I'm super excited for this one. Can't wait to see it. Comes out in June. So that's another one that released a trailer when I was on hiatus. So I'm probably gonna do a separate ACTION-FLIX podcast where I'm just going to check out a bunch of trailers that I miss. Wolverine is back. He says Trial by Fire, while good, was a letdown thanks to the end. Yes. And also it was like a CSI episode, right? It's like they were jumping on the CSI bandwagon because CSI had just come out and it was all big and everything. So it was like they were like all CSI, like it was all into the forensics and everything. And I'm like, is this Walker or is this CSI? So I remember that too. And I was just like, this is just weird. I'm like, why did what the hell is going on right now? But yeah, the ending sucked and they never did a follow-up because Chuck Norris did his things with the Republican Party and whatever. God love him. Never went back to acting until now. So for Alex is dead in my book. She's laying on the ground still in the courthouse. So it's like, what are you gonna do? So there you go, everybody. We got lots of good stuff happening. Lots of good stuff. Let's see here. Wolverine is back. Osiris, the sci-fi action with Linda Hamilton has. Oh yes, Osiris, and that's directed by William Kaufman. Yes, I have not talked about that one on the podcast. I did share the news of it. But yeah, like that picture of her rocking the machine gun. Oh yeah, big time. Super excited for that one. Aside from the awesome Expendables 2. Yes, Norris but he was in it for 2 minutes. Come on. Yeah, I mean the same thing. He was in the scene where he came out and talked to Sylvester Stallone for a while. Then at the end, he shot a couple people and kicked one guy in the face. So that's all that was. I mean, it was great to see him in it, but other than that, I mean, it was just an extended cameo. Woohoo! Now this one, he's playing an AI creature, like a robot or something. So that's kind of interesting. Like he's not even a human being in this one. So that's gonna be kind of weird to see him playing against character, because we all know he always played humans in his movies. So now he's playing this AI thing. So that'll be kind of interesting too. So there you go. So yeah, so I covered a lot of the bases. If I forgot some stuff, just go to my website at actionflix.com. It's all on there. I mean, so visit the website. That's what it's there for. He says, I wonder if there'll be any Chuck facts in this one. Yeah, right. It's like Chuck Norris is this movie. So, but yeah, so so I'm back. I'm starting a new job tomorrow. Tomorrow's my first day. It's a 9 to 5 shift. So hey, you can't beat that, right? It's like that's perfect. So yeah, I'm not really going to talk about it because you don't need to know about it. I mean, but all I could say is that I won't be having to use my shoulder, and the guy that's hiring me knew me because I was in this place all the time with my daughter, and a nice guy, and just flat out offered me a job and it was like, I'll hire you. And then he's already talking about leadership responsibilities and everything. Super excited for it. It's what I need, so yeah. So there you go. So next show I'm going to do is going to be the trailer reactions to some of those that I just talked about. I am going to do the Center of the Ring. I started doing Center of the Ring. We did one episode where we did both Roadhouse movies back to back. And of course, since then, have not done another one because, like I said, life always tends to get in the way. Like even now, like I'm single now, I'm on my own, but still, life gets in the way, and like I plan on doing stuff, but then it's like, nope. It's like you got to deal with this now. But hey, that's what it is, and it's like any chance I get to spend with my daughters, I'm going to, so yeah, it is what it is. I do this when I can. Like I said, I don't get paid, if anything, for this. So it's just because I love it and I want to do it. So yeah. So if you guys have any ideas, hit me up. So like I said, I'm going to be doing this next Center of the Ring. And I believe the next Center of the Ring is going to be the first Expendables against Triple Threat. So that's going to be a tough one for obvious reasons. But yeah, so that's going to be the next Center of the Ring when I actually get around to watching them again. Not that I haven't watched them like 20, 30 times at least, but you always want to watch it to get it fresh in your mind again so you can talk about it. But yeah, that's going to be the next Center of the Ring. And then just doing the website and just doing these podcasts. I got a lot more interviews lined up. Hopefully they work out. Oh, that brings me to my other thing. Yeah. So if you guys have not checked any of this stuff out, I had a lot of, last week was a really good time for interviews. Because Darkness of Man with Jean-Claude Van Damme came out, which I gave a pretty good review to. Listen, with Darkness of Man, if you're not expecting like Bloodsport Van Damme, because he's past that, he's not gonna be doing helicopter kicks and this and that. But this is brutal Van Damme. It's a slow burn thriller. I mean, there's action beats peppered throughout. But if you're expecting a full blown action movie with Van Damme, kicking all over the place, you're going to be disappointed. But it's a solid movie. It's a noirish crime thriller. And I did a bunch of interviews for it. I did Kristanna Loken. We all know who Kristanna Loken is. She was TX in Terminator Rise of the Machines. Such a great actress. She was in Blood Rain, in The Name of the King. She was in Repeater just recently with Gary Daniels. She's done so many movies. So yeah, so I did a great interview with her. Lovely, lovely lady. She looks phenomenal. I mean, just looks just as good as she did in Terminator Rise of the Machines. Super nice lady to talk to. I did Kirk Sticky Fingers Jones. We all know him as the hardcore rapper, as well as he did the Blade TV series. So I technically interviewed Blade. There you go. I mean, it's not Wesley Snipes, but it was the other one. So I always joke. I was joking to everybody when it happened. I was like, hey, I interviewed Blade. They were like, no. And I'm like, yeah. And they were like, Wesley, like, no. And they're like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, it's Sticky Fingers. But if you watch the interview, oh my God, he's a trip. He was fun to talk to. He's full of energy. And of course, I talked to the director himself, James Cullen Bressick. Again, another nice guy. I was supposed to hook up with him with some other movies in the past and talk to him, but it didn't work out. But I finally got to talk to him for Darkness of Man. So that's all up on my YouTube channel, as well as the website. So you can get through it through you just go to my YouTube channel and then, click on the interviews and there they are. Or you can go to my website and read the articles. So yeah, Wolverine says Atlas versus Robot Jocks or Robot Jocks versus Pacific Rim. I haven't seen Atlas yet. I'm not that eager to see Atlas. I saw the trailer for it because I shared it on the site, and I was like, eh. And then of course I heard about again. I don't listen to other people's reviews or anything, but I'm just not that excited about it. Robot Jocks versus Pacific Rim, that could be doable. I mean, yeah, I mean Pacific Rim had a bigger budget than Robot Jocks did, but that doesn't guarantee that'll be a better movie. And of course he says TX, yes, she's easy to look at. Yes, and such a nice. Oh, she was great to talk to. I interviewed her years ago for Black Rose, which was a movie she did with Alexander Nevsky, who's been so great to the website. But it was an email interview, and I was limited to like 6 or 7 questions that I could ask him and her. And I did Matthias Hughes also. I interviewed him a long time ago before I did him for the podcast last month. But yeah, so that was just an email interview. So I actually got to physically talk to Kristana this time, which was super great. And a funny story, like the day of the interviews, they're doing construction next door. And like every time I turn around, something's going out, whether it's my power or my internet. And my internet crapped out like 10 minutes before I was supposed to go online and do these interviews. So I'm texting the PR lady. I'm like, she's like, oh no. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. She's like, can you do your phone? I'm like, I could, but it doesn't work as well. And but it came back like right as I was set to go on, and I was able to do all of the interviews, and it worked out great, and they all got on. The only thing I like about it was through Zoom. So like when I'm talking to them, you got the PR people windows on there too. But that's how they did it. I'm like, hey, that's how I have to share it. That's not a big deal. I didn't think it was a big deal, but just know, like when you watch it, that it's us two talking, and then of course you see the PR people underneath because they were moderating the interview, so they could tell me to hang up when it was time to get off. This is one of those 10 minutes, you got 10 minutes, and get off. They got to do the next one type of thing. But yeah, so I got a lot of great interviews up there. Check them out. Check out my YouTube video, my YouTube channel, because it's got a lot of great stuff on there too. So yeah, so got a lot of good things coming up. And that's pretty much what I got right now. Like I said, I'm starting a new job tomorrow, so tomorrow should be pretty interesting. Can't wait to see what happens there. I always hate starting a new job though, because you're not sure like what to do. Like you go in, you're like, I don't know what to do. Somebody has to tell you everything. It's like, okay, what do I do now? It's like I like it from a month from now, or even a week from now. I'll be like, I'll be fine. I'll be like, yeah, okay. Like, what am I doing today? Type of thing. But like now it's gonna be like, thanks. I'm new. And then like it deals with the public. I will say that. So people are gonna probably ask me questions. I'm like, I'm new. This is my first day. They're like, oh, okay. Because I'll be wearing whatever they give me, but it's like I don't know what to tell you because I literally just started working here today. I mean, I came here many times with my daughter, but other than that, I have no idea what to tell you. But anyways, enough of that. So yeah. So Wolverine came up with some good ideas. Atlas versus Robot Jocks, or Robot Jocks versus Pacific Rim, or any other of those types of movies against each other would probably be good too, huh? What do you think? But yeah, shoot me some ideas. I have just checked out The Mayor of Kingstown with the great Jeremy Renner. Oh my God, I'm loving it. The 3rd season's coming out this week, and I was like, you know what? It's time to check this out. So I'm watching that. I'm already 6 episodes into season 1. He's phenomenal. I'm so glad that he's recovered from his accident. Oh man, if he had died, that would have been a tragedy. Oh, I'm so glad that he's doing so well, and he's recovered and he's back to acting again. He's going to be Hawkeye maybe again in the future, but he's so good in this. I'm watching Yellowstone again. I watched all of Yellowstone, but I started watching that again because that's such a good show. So yeah, and I'm watching baseball because I'm from Ohio and I'm a huge Cleveland Guardians fan, and my boys are doing really, really well. So I've been watching a lot of them too. So that's kind of been like nixing into my movie time and my website time, but I gotta enjoy me, you know what I'm saying? Like I got a lot of healing to do, both physically and mentally. So I've been doing a lot of stuff that I gravitate towards. like I said, spending a lot of time with my daughters. I was just with them last week because my daughter Bailey celebrated her 9th birthday on Friday. So, Sunday, I'm sorry, this past Sunday. So I was able to take both my oldest and her out. We went mini golfing and went out to eat and just had a fun time. They slept over the night before. Well, my little girl Bailey spends the week with me off and on, but my oldest one came and spent the night, and then we spent the day together. So that was a lot of fun. That was great to be with them and have some fun and stuff like that. So that's why, I've kind of been out of the game for a little bit, but I'm going to try to do the best I can and try to do my thing here, again, with the budget. Again, that reminds me, again, I have on my website, there's a thing for donations. If you're feeling inclined, again, I appreciate anything. I have one gentleman who does it monthly. Thank you very much. Yeah, so donations are accepted. You just go to the website. It's on the side there. I put it underneath some of the articles. You just click on what you want to, contribute, whether it's a one time or if you want to do monthly, anything helps. Like I said, what this guy's doing is helping pay for my StreamYard. Which is I'm going to have to pay more because when you reach a certain limit with your storage, you got to pay for more storage. I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, come on. It's like, that's how they get you. I mean, like, oh, you want more? Well, got to pay more. It's like, all right, well, it's I'm working again. And like I said, it's going to turn into a good gig and I'm going to be management. It looks like, so I'm super excited. So I cannot wait. All right. So until my next show where I check out some of the trailers and then go from there, this is John with ACTION-FLIX.com saying, hey, everybody, be nice to one another. Treat others as you would want to be treated. Just be a good person. You know what I'm saying? Life sucks. Let's just be good to each other. Watch action movies, watch movies in general, and just be there for one another, just, say hi. Like today I was out and like I held the door for somebody. He was like, hey, thanks. I'm like, you're welcome. And it's like, just be nice to people, because like I said, like I do this website and this is the last thing I'm going to say. I share things on the website and then all I get is negativity. I get people coming out of the woodwork saying, this is going to suck. That's going to suck. You suck. I mean, come on already. I mean, it's like, then why are you following me? Or like, why are you even thinking about, like, if it sucks so bad, then don't worry about it. Go on to something else. But that's all I get. Can we just be positive and just enjoy action, cinema, and television, and just be kind to one another? Because like I said, I can attest, life sucks enough. Like I've had enough thrown at me in these last 7 or 8 months that I am done for the rest of my life. I just want to move on, just want to continue, just want to do my thing, support my girls, and just be there for them, be a good dad. Whatever else happens is just icing on the cake. All right. So until the next show, everybody, this is John with ACTION-FLIX saying, hey, we are your ultimate destination for your action fix. So be sure to look out for more exclusive interviews, more exclusives, more stories, more trailers, everything. If it's got to do with action, you're going to see it here at ACTION-FLIX.com. Because like I said, we're your ultimate destination for your action fix. All right. Take it easy, everybody.